Hey guys, so today's video is my everyday makeup routine. I think the summers in Delhi are pretty harsh and you don't want like a lot of makeup onto your face if you are into makeup, but you still want to wear makeup. Whatever I'm going to do in this video is what I wear every single day if I am going to wear makeup at all. I do switch up a few products here and there, and that is I think pretty natural because you just want to switch your looks up. So this is going to be something which I end up doing most of the time. So right now on my face I do not have anything except for my brows and a lip balm, and I've done my brows because there's not much to do with my brows because I naturally have pretty thick brows, so I don't really have to do a lot with them. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay guys, so I've put my hair back and I'm going to start with priming my face, and for that I'm going to use the Becca Backlight priming filter. This is just an illuminating primer which has hydrating qualities into it. In this weather, I don't personally like to put moisturizer onto my skin because my skin has tried to behave like a more combination skin than dry. So my T-zone throughout the day gets really oily, and sort of my like cheek area too, but the rest of my face like forehead and the sides of my face and stuff remain really dry. So I don't like to put moisturizer onto it because throughout the day if I'm putting makeup on, my skin is actually going to secrete some oils, and I'm going to use other products too once the makeup is complete, which is actually going to bring back moisture into my face. So I don't like to overdo it, and this has no specks of glitter into it, so you're not going to get that weird glittery base for your makeup. This is going to give you a very natural sort of a everyday glow, which is going to look super healthy. So I'm just going to take this at the back of my hand like this. I've pumped one whole pump out, and I'm just going to lather it on literally everywhere like you apply a moisturizer. So I'm just going to apply. Now you can either conceal, or you can also put foundation on. If I am going to put a foundation on, it is going to be Maybelline Dream Satin Skin. This looks like second skin onto your face, and it is so lightweight and it is dewy, gives you that beautiful satin finish, and it has like decent amount of coverage. It's neither light nor full, it's somewhere in between, so I would say a medium coverage foundation. And this is available at drugstore everywhere around the world, so it is easily you can get this easily. If you don't want to put foundation, you can go in with your concealer and just conceal the areas where you want and leave the rest of the skin bare. For that purpose, I use Tarte Shape Tape Concealer because this concealer is, oh my god, the best concealer in the world right now. If you want something that looks like second skin, which looks dewy, hydrated, which does not feel dry underneath your eye, if you want something like that, then this concealer is going to make your makeup look so good, so flawless, and it has like full coverage. So I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of both. Maybe 90% of the times you would not see me wearing any foundation, but for the sake of this video, I think maybe a little bit of foundation won't hurt. So I'm just going to pump a tiny bit of it at the back of my hand. This is the amount of foundation I'm going to use, and I'm going to use my beauty blender with it. So I'm just going to spread it out a little bit, like sort of warm it up so that it just melts into the skin. And now I'm just going to apply it randomly everywhere where I want a foundation to go. And then I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to start blending it into the skin. And after that, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer just to highlight my T-zone and to conceal the dark circles underneath my eyes. Also on camera, for some reason, this concealer looks a little gray or ashy underneath my eyes. but in real life or when I take pictures it does not look gray at all. But I think in this light particularly it just looks a little gray. Maybe I'll have to adjust the lighting or something, or add another one with it. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to correct underneath my eyes. Otherwise, if I'm putting it on myself on the other regular days, I do not correct underneath my eyes at all. So for correction, I'm going to use Kiko Milano Dark Circle Tone Eraser. This is my second bottle of it, and this is great. And it has a more gel-like consistency to it, which I really like. So as you can see, this is not orange or anything. This looks like a peachy orange, I would say. I'm just going to pat it into my inner corner and underneath the eyes. So once I've applied that corrector to my face, I'm going to use the concealer now, and I'm going to apply it on the regular places where I usually conceal or highlight. So I'm going to apply it on the sides of my lips, because if you are a brown girl or maybe a darker skin tone, you will notice that you get pigmentation around this area of your face. I'm just going to highlight this area just to bring it forward, and then I'm just going to apply some concealer underneath my eyes. Once this is done, I'm just going to start blending it into the skin. I'm going to start from here and then move upward and then reach here and then blend out my eyes at the end, because I have a lot of wrinkles or lines underneath my eyes for some reason, and if I blend this concealer out first and then go on to blend the rest of it, my eyes are going to start to crease, and we do not want that. So I'm going to start blending from here till here, and then at the end I'm going to blend my under eyes. I'm just going to use Zoeva Face Shape 110 brush, which I find works the best for applying and blending concealer on my face at least. You can use whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay guys, I'm really sorry my camera stopped recording. So after that, all that I've done is I have set my concealer using the RCMA No Color Powder, and I have used my damp beauty blender to just set it right underneath the eyes and not really take the powder all the way up, down, or wherever my concealer is, because we are going to use more cream products now. So I don't really want to set my entire face with powder. So I just set just the creasing and around the area, and then I brushed it off using the Zoeva Luxe Sheer Cheek Brush. And now for the blush, I'm going to use Glossier Cloud Paint, which is this. And just look at this. This is so cute. Oh, this is their Cloud Paint in the shade Beam, which is probably my most favorite shade in this entire world for a cream blush. And this is a gel-like consistency blush, and it dries down to a matte but a hydrating finish and has no sheen or shimmer into it. So it is just a very natural, beautiful, soft blush, and it is gorgeous. So nice. So I'm just going to take it at the back of my hand, and I clearly squirted out a lot of product. Just look at this. This is a lot. I think a half of it is going to work just fine. So I'm going to apply it using my fingers. I'm going to take a little bit onto my finger. I'm going to apply it onto my cheek area and then pat it in and blend it. Do you see how beautiful? Oh my god, this is so beautiful. I'm just going to take some more and build the intensity of it on the apples of the cheek, and then shear it out a little bit in this direction and then a little bit towards the direction of the nose. because that is how you naturally blush. This is the area where you actually get a lot of that color. I'm just going to apply a tiny bit here, tiny bit there, and just going to blend it like this. And I'm going to take just a little bit of it onto the bridge of the nose. Not really bridge, but like this part of the nose. Sort of connecting this area together. After that, I'm just going to go in and create some faux freckles around this area where I actually applied my blush. So for that, we're going to use two different sort of cream products. One is the Kiko Milano Cream Crush Lasting Color Eyeshadow in the shade number 03. And this is what it looks like. This is like a very beautiful, natural, taupey cream eyeshadow. And the next thing that we're going to use is the NYX Gel Liner and Smudger eyeliner. This is in the shade brown, and it is drying out a little bit, and this is what I am looking for, because I don't want something that is too smooth, too creamy, and is that dark, because I can easily put a blob of color onto my face and mess the entire look up. So I want something which is hard to get pigment out of, so that it is sheer when I'm applying it. For the freckles, I'm going to use the Pro Art 270E brush, which is like a, I don't know, a lip brush. But so I'm just going to dip my brush into this product just a little bit, just a tip of it. And I'm just going to brush off the excess, and I'm going to start making freckles. So this is the first one. I think the trick with freckles is that you shouldn't be afraid to apply them too close together. A lot of people tend to follow a certain pattern when they're applying, when they are doing or applying freckles. I don't know, applying freckles just sounds so weird. But when they are trying to put faux freckles on their face, and you shouldn't be afraid to just be random with your application, because freckles are natural. They can be anywhere. You don't have to create a pattern for them. And I know it's right now looks like they're just random dots, but we are going to press it into the skin to just make it look more natural, and for that we're going to use a beauty blender. But for now, I'm just going to take the other color. I'm just going to create some lighter freckles. Always dab the color on the sides of your hand once you have dipped the brush, so that you know that there's no excess product onto the brush, and it can avoid like you can avoid getting blobs of color onto your face. Just going to apply, just spread it out a little bit down and around the eyes. I'm going to take my beauty blender, which is like sort of damp and not too damp. So I'm just going to press these freckles into the skin, and that is why we did not set this part of face when we were setting the under eyes. Actually, that footage was lost because my camera stopped recording, but yeah, therefore I did not set the rest of the face, because we want to push these freckles into the skin and make them look like they are natural. So this is like a very light freckled look, but I like to have a little bit more darker freckles. So I'm just going to go back into this and just create a little bit more so that they just stand out. When I was a kid, I used to get freckles onto my face, but as I grew up, no freckles anymore. And I'm just going to use my sponge again to press them a little bit into the skin. I'm not going to apply a lot of pressure like I did last time. And once the freckles are done, I'm going to use my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour palette to just bronze up my skin a little bit. And I'm going to use the same angled brush from Zoeva, and I'm going to take this middle shade right here, which is called Shadow Play, which is quite a nice bronzing color. And I'm just going to take a little bit of it and dust it on my freckles first. And now taking the same brush, I'm going to stamp a little bit of this onto the sides of my face. I'm going to be very careful because I don't want a lot of it. I just want something which just binds this area together. So I'm just going to apply a little bit, just stamp it, and with a very light hand, blend it. And I'm just going to bronze a little bit on the sides of my nose. I'm going to use a Zoeva Luxe Soft Definer 227 brush, which is actually an eyeshadow brush, but I love it for the sides of my nose. So I'm just going to lightly dust some powder over there. I'm going to dust a little bit underneath my eyebrows as well, so that it gives a more natural sculpted look. And yeah, that is it. I'm going to go into highlight now, for which I'm going to use this Maybelline Master Strobe Liquid Illuminator, which is stunning. Mine is in the shade Nude Glow, and I'm just going to take a little bit of it at the back of my hand, just this much. I'm just going to take some of it on my fingers again and apply it on the high points of the face. And as you see, oh wow, oh my god, this is so beautiful. This gives you such a natural glow. And we're not going to overdo the highlighter, as a lot of people nowadays are just going crazy with the highlighter. So I'm just going to top my cream highlight with this powder one. This is from e.l.f. in the shade Moonlight Pearls. It is one of their baked highlights. So I'm just going to use a Zoeva Luxe Highlight 105 brush for this, which is what I use for my highlight. And I'm just going to top it off. So after highlighting, I'm going to move on to the eyes. I am going to apply some makeup on the eyes, but I'm going to keep it pretty neutral and wearable. So I'm going to start with the Kiko's eyeshadow, the one which I used for freckles. I'm going to use it with a normal crease brush. Just going to stamp it into the eyeshadow, stamp a little bit on my hand, and I'm just going to start buffing it into my crease and then taking it down to my lid. And now using a Luxe Petite Crease by Zoeva, this is their 231 brush. I'm just going to stamp it into the same cream eyeshadow, stamp a little bit on the hand, and I'm just going to apply it underneath my lower lash line just to give that balanced look to the eyes. So this is like the base of my eye look, and I'm just going to add some more color to it, for which I'm again going to use a Kiko eyeshadow or eyeshadows. This is their Baked Eyeshadow Duo. This is in the shade 02. I'm going to take this brown on the same brush, just take a little bit of it. I'm just going to add it to the outer V of my eyes. I'm just going to slightly define my eyes over there, and just a little bit on the sides of my lower lash line, just a tad bit. And then for the lid and the inner corner area, I'm going to use the lighter shade, and for that I'm going to take a Luxe All Over Shader, which is their 222 brush. This is also from Zoeva. I'm going to pick some of the color, and I'm just going to stamp it a little bit in the center of the eyes. And then by using a Luxe pencil, this is 230 from Zoeva, I'm going to take the same shade, and I'm going to take it very slightly into the inner corner and just drag it a little bit underneath. So guys, once I'm happy with this, I'm just going to go in with the next step, which is mascara. And for that, I'm going to use the Benefits Roller Lash Mascara. And this is a lengthening mascara, which I personally like for my lashes when I'm doing such looks. And I'm just going to coat my upper and lower lash lines with it. And you can curl your lashes if you want to, but I don't think it is a necessary step if you're doing an everyday makeup. But if you like it, go ahead. That is why I love this mascara. So guys, the mascara is done, and as you can see, what a difference it made to the look. And I just love it. I never skip mascara. You shouldn't either. I mean, if you want to, you can, but you shouldn't. The eyes are absolutely complete now, and we're going to move on to the lips. For the lips, I'm going to use the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lips. This is in the shade Doozy, and this is in the shade Zuma. Doozy is a little bit more pink, and Zuma is a little bit more like a pinky brown. They give your lips that blotted, matte, soft look. So I'm going to start with Doozy, and I'm going to take a little bit of it and apply it in the center of my lips. Over here too. And let me just show you the color of this. This is Doozy, and as you can see, they just sheer out and give you this beautiful wash of color. And now I'm going to take Zuma, which is probably my most favorite color, which is this, which is a very beautiful brownish pink nude. I'm going to use it on the outsides of my lips. Okay guys, so this is like almost the end of the video. Now all I'm going to do is to set the rest of the face, and for that I'm going to use the Milani Prep Set Glow Illuminating Transparent Powder. I broke the top of it. So I'm going to use the Luxe Face Definer 101 brush from Zoeva. I'm just going to stamp it into the product, and then I'm just going to pat it into the face. Now I'm just going to take this brush, just wipe off any excess powder. I'm just going to swirl it around on the sides so that everything just blends together. And now I'm just going to set my face with the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, which I know a lot of you know about. I think all of you know about. So guys, this is the complete look. I love to wear this look out because it looks quite well done, but it still looks a little flawed in a good way. And it looks messy and it looks natural, and it just enhances your natural features. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. And if you want to get notifications as to when I'm going to post, then please click that bell icon. I think it's over here somewhere. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below. And I hope you like this look. I enjoyed creating this look for you a lot, and I hope you had a great day so far, and you're going to have a great day ahead. Bye.